Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell the truth about silver. Today is Tuesday, the 29th of March 2022. Now, we originally started to do this publication at about midday, but it's now 2:05 in the afternoon as I was called away. So it's possible that some of these new headlines will have changed, but I'll refresh pages on some of the gold and silver prices. Now, the first thing that comes to mind is the headline. It says it was updated 4 minutes ago, but this will now have been 2 hours ago. Ukraine update: Kiev seeks ceasefire in fresh talks with Russia. And this is important because we can see further down, stocks climb, oil fluctuates amid ceasefire talks. So it does look, for the moment at least, it does look as if there is some positive news on the horizon. And if we look at what Bloomberg has reported, but please bear in mind, this could certainly change in a matter of hours. Negotiators from Kiev and Moscow are holding fresh talks in Turkey on Tuesday in a bid to clinch a ceasefire and at least temporarily halt the 34-day war in Ukraine. Heading into the talks, both sides differed vastly on disputed positions, including the state of territories occupied by Russian troops and security guarantees. Now, I won't go any further into that because this news is going to move at quite a pace. However, the result of this is undoubtedly, and I'm going to refresh the page, we've seen the dollar index come down a little, almost 1 point. It did yesterday actually touch 99. And in fact, early this morning opened at 99.07. We have been banging on for weeks, if not months, stating to expect a very high dollar ratio or dollar index. And it's now currently 98.17. Oil prices, they are currently down, with WTI crude at just on the $100 mark at $100.15, and Brent crude $106.42. A good improvement from last Friday's close. Now, equity markets, let's just take a look at those. We are still waiting for the US markets to open. They were up yesterday, broadly between 0.25% and 1.25%. Asia Pacific overnight, broadly up 1%. And we now have UK and European markets actually up between 1% and 3%. So it's not going to take a rocket scientist to predict that American markets are also likely to open up. So what's happening to gold and silver prices? Well, let's just take a look. Oh, they have differed. In the last 2 hours, I don't know if you saw that at the top, but gold was down $15 on the day. It's now down $38. And currently stands at $1,896. Now, if we bear in mind that Friday's close, gold was $1,958, it's now $62 lower, and is actually entering into our outlier territory that we predicted in our weekend update. Silver prices 2 hours ago were down 33 cents. Let me refresh the page. Oh gosh, yes. And we can see that silver prices are down 75 cents. And now it has moved to the bottom of our outlier range and is currently at $24.16. We stipulated on the weekend the markets were going to move potentially in one or two directions. The one was because President Biden actually said that, in his opinion, but he didn't use those express words, but basically said Putin cannot survive after the Ukrainian war. We said if the White House doubled downs or tripled downs on that, in other words, calling for regime change, then we can expect to see gold and silver prices really rise, and quite dramatically. However, equally, we pointed out if that didn't happen and the White House walked things back, then we'll see a settling down of prices, and the technicals were suggesting consolidation or lower prices. Well, of course, the White House had to really tread a fine balance and basically said that was the president's personal opinion, but wasn't necessarily politics in the sense of they were going for regime change. And of course now, with the potential for talks succeeding, naturally they are acting as headwinds, and the risk premium, if you like, for people investing in gold and silver is now dissipating, and so we're seeing prices come down. So we've got silver 24.16. If we compare that with Friday's close, which was 25.56, actually now it's jumped up 4 cents. So let's work on 24.20. It's a moving feast. So we are looking at approximately, if maths, 24.20, that's $1.36 lower than Friday's close. Cryptocurrency markets, 2 hours, the market was up 1.2%. Let me refresh, it's up 1.68. Bitcoin is really moving. Bearing in mind it was not that long ago Bitcoin was $33,000. We actually thought it would meander between 30 and really 40, but it's really started to spike, and it's now nearly $48,000. So that's where we are in terms of precious metal prices. Let me refresh Bloomberg to see if there's more update on the news. No, I think we've just got here Russia's bond buyback in rubles aims at ensuring locals get paid. NATO allies are split on whether they should talk to Putin. Barclays shares Tumble as holder sells £900 million block. That's interesting. Why is that? Barclays to take £450 million hit on bizarre bond blunder. UK police find Downing Street parties broke COVID rules. And the former Bundesbank chief Weber, or Weber, as they probably pronounce it in Germany, says the ECB should hike now. And it's making a mistake in not raising interest rates. That's where we're at the moment. Where do we think prices are going to go? It does depend on these talks. And if they actually succeed in having a ceasefire, then, as already mentioned, some of this risk investment premium, will reduce. And so as a result, we could see even lower gold and silver prices short term. We're not totally convinced the ceasefire will happen as yet, but of course the fact that these parties are talking is always positive. And I think the old expression jaw rather than war is the preferred environment. That's it for now. We'll say no more at this stage. Obviously we'll update you as things develop, but meanwhile, thank you for listening. Please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, press the bell sign. Until our next video. Illuminati silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, we are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice and merely represent the personal views of its owners.